And how has the fallout from Mama Sapano impacted on the GPH-MILF peace process? And what are our stakes in it? It has been said that the BBL is as much a casualty of Mama Sapano as the fallen 67. The few of those who are talking loudly today took much interest in all of this then. They say that peace is not an easy path. Sometimes it's like walking a tightrope. But there is no alternative to peace. War cannot end war. These religious officials, civil society leaders, business persons, academicians live and work in Mindanao. They know how destructive. We cannot prosper as a nation with a house divided. We cannot live the promise of life abundant while pockets of poverty and violence and squalor remain in Mindanao. Let us issue primers on peace. Let us hold forums such as this. Let us write letters to the editor. Let us lobby our congresspersons. Let us reach out over and over again to Filipinos who are different from and unfamiliar to us. Let us keep the flame of peace burning, to keep PDL at the top of the agenda, and to honor our fallen 67.
We know that they fought each other, they were actually killing each other in that kind of a situation. And not only 44 SAF people died, but also 18 combatants so far. War is probably the only legitimate situation where we find it justified to kill other people en masse. Trust, of course, trust is not simply given, it is also earned. And that is why we have been very protective of these mechanisms, these protocols, because that is why we have been able to earn the trust and respect of each other to lead us to the signing of the comprehensive agreement.
We know is what media says. It may or may not be the truth. Later I'll tell you about Twitter. So newspapers first. In the first week, it was MILF. Second week, Mama Sapano. Third week, guess what it was? Guess what it was? Guess, anyone? Huh? What? BBL, no? Media, there is a link in the mind being done, in the public mind, between the massacre and between President Aquino. And later, on a deeper way, with the Bangsamoro Basic Law. But the BBL cannot be disentangled from President Aquino because in real politics, people in Congress will vote for BBL because of their love for President Aquino. Believe me, the meaning of justice is very different between the victims and between politicians. So it has to be in terms, because that's the question here, it has to be in terms of what the families want. And what, in their understanding, is justice.
An issue of international humanitarian law, which is that the killing of wounded combatants. But then people seem to say that in order to save the SAF-44, it's okay to drop artillery on communities of civilians, which is also a violation, which also could be a violation of international humanitarian law if you don't care at all that civilians will be killed in that process. No? So I think it's important when when we look really for truth, if we really look for justice, is that justice only for certain people, or is it for all who have been victims? So I think that's an important standpoint if we are really looking for peace in this country.